At 53 years old, with $80 left in her bank account and a silence so heavy she had stopped talking to God, Donna did something for 60 days straight that nobody around her knew about. Not her sister, not her co-workers, not the neighbors who waved from their driveways. Nobody. And at the end of those 60 days, her life looked different, not because she won the lottery, not because a man came along and rescued her, but because of something she found inside herself that had been buried so long she'd forgotten it had a name. But I need to take you back first, because this story doesn't start with the $80. It starts much earlier than that. It starts the moment Donna decided that being needed was the same thing as being loved. That mistake cost her 30 years. Donna Reeves worked the register at a grocery store in a working-class neighborhood outside of Columbus, Ohio. She had been at that same store for 11 years. Same lane, mostly. Lane 4, the one nearest the window that looked out onto the parking lot. In summer, the afternoon sun came through that window and hit her directly in the eyes for about 40 minutes. She had asked twice years ago if they could put up a shade. Nothing ever came of it. She stopped asking. That was Donna in a sentence, really. She stopped asking. She was the kind of woman people describe as so sweet and always there for you and never complains, which sounds like praise until you realize that none of those things are about who she actually is. They are descriptions of what she provides. There is a difference, and it took Donna a very long time to feel it. She had a daughter, Brianna, 26, who lived 40 minutes away in an apartment Donna had co-signed for. She had a younger sister, Pam, who called her whenever something went wrong, which was often. She had a mother, Ruth, 81 years old, who lived alone in the house Donna had grown up in and who needed more help every year. And she had herself, which lately felt like the least of those four things. Her apartment had 2 bedrooms. She used one to sleep in and kept the other one as a kind of holding room, boxes she hadn't unpacked from when she moved in 4 years ago, a sewing machine she told herself she'd start using again someday, and a shelf of paperback novels that she used to read one a week when she was younger and hadn't touched in something like 2 years. Her one small ritual was her morning coffee. She made it strong, in an old percolator she'd had since her 20s, and she drank it standing at the kitchen window before the day had a chance to get its hands on her. That was her time. 5, maybe 10 minutes before the phone started and the obligations assembled themselves into a line outside her door. She had a dream she never said out loud. She wanted to learn to sew again, properly this time, and make something beautiful just for herself. Not a curtain, not a costume for someone's kid, something she would wear. Something that said, without words, that she had been here and she had made something real. She had not started yet. The trouble arrived the way most serious trouble does, in pieces, spread far enough apart that you don't see it assembling until it's already built. It started with Brianna. Donna had been quietly putting $50 into Brianna's account most months, not because Brianna asked, exactly, but because Brianna would mention things in a particular tone, the tone of someone who expects the problem to be solved by someone else, and Donna had spent a lifetime responding to that tone. It was the same tone her mother used, the same tone her sister Pam had perfected. Donna had been the solution to other people's problems for so long that she had stopped noticing the cost. Then one Tuesday in late February, she was online checking her own balance, and she noticed something in her account history that made her go very still. She had been sending money to Brianna's account without quite realizing how consistently she'd been doing it. She pulled up the last 18 months of transactions and sat at her kitchen table and looked at the number at the bottom of what she had given away. $6,200. Over 18 months, quietly, in pieces small enough not to feel large, she had given away the equivalent of nearly 3 months of her salary. She sat with that number for a long time. She was not angry at Brianna, not exactly. What she felt was something harder to name, a kind of vertigo, like when you realize you've been walking in the wrong direction for a long time, and everything you thought was familiar is in the wrong place.
War, dat ik gelijk en ik bothke, vittieren, wadro hadden wrong, en vraag said.
For a long time, and everything you thought was familiar is in the wrong place. She called her bank. She asked for her current balance, $83.40. She thanked the automated voice and hung up. She sat at that kitchen table and did not move for a very long time. The percolator was still on. She could hear it keeping the coffee warm. Outside, a garbage truck was making its rounds, that rhythmic beeping of a large vehicle going in reverse. And it felt like the most ordinary and unbearable soundtrack she had ever heard. The humiliation came the following week. Donna's store manager, a man named Greg who was 15 years younger than her and wore his authority like a new shirt he was still figuring out, called her into the office on her break. He slid a paper across the desk. It was a performance review, technically, but what it actually said underneath the corporate language was, Donna has been distracted. Her lane productivity is below average. Customers have commented on slow service. She read it once. Then she looked up at Greg. He had the grace to look slightly uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable enough to say what she could see he was thinking, which was, "You've been here 11 years, and you're still making minimum wage, and this is the best I can say about you." She signed the paper. She went back to lane 4. For the rest of that shift, every time a customer placed their items on the belt, every time the scanner beeped, she felt something small and sharp turning in her chest. Not hurt, exactly. Something past hurt. Something closer to the feeling you get when you realize you have been underestimating the size of a problem for a very long time. By March, Donna had stopped doing most of the things that kept her intact. She wasn't sleeping past 4 in the morning. She'd lie there in the dark running numbers she couldn't make add up. Her mother had called 3 times in 1 week about a leaky faucet that turned out to be fine. Pam needed her to drive 3 hours round-tripped to help her sort through their late father's belongings in storage. Brianna hadn't called since Donna had, for the first time in recorded history, said the words, "I don't have it this month." The silence from Brianna was the loudest thing Donna had ever heard. One night in the middle of March, on a Wednesday, Donna got into her car at 10:30 in the evening and drove. She didn't have a destination. She just drove through the flat, orange-lit streets of the neighborhood she'd lived in for 11 years, past the gas stations and the nail places and the churches and the convenience stores, all of it familiar and all of it feeling suddenly like a landscape she'd been circling without ever landing. She pulled into an empty parking lot, a closed dollar store, and turned the car off and just sat there. She thought about calling Brianna and apologizing. She thought about calling Pam and saying yes to the trip. She thought about going back to just being what everyone needed her to be, because at least then there was a shape to her days. At least then she knew what she was for. She almost called Brianna. She had the phone in her hand, the contact pulled up, her thumb over the call button. She sat there for 7 minutes. She counted them, somehow. Then she put the phone in the cup holder, face down, and looked at the dark storefront in front of her and said out loud, quietly, to nobody, "I am so tired of disappearing." The words surprised her. She hadn't planned them. She sat with them for a while. Then she drove home. The Saturday after the parking lot night, Donna went to the farmer's market 2 blocks from her apartment. She hadn't gone in months. She didn't have money to buy much, but she needed to be somewhere with air and color and the smell of something other than her own apartment. She was looking at a table of herb plants, mint and rosemary, and small basil starts, with the specific pleasure of looking at something living that costs very little, when the woman spoke to her. "The basil is better than it looks." Donna turned. The woman was perhaps 70, black, with close-cropped silver hair and the posture of someone who has decided, at some point in life, to take up exactly the amount of space she deserves. She was wearing a yellow cardigan and holding a canvas bag that already had a bunch of kale and some kind of root vegetable sticking out of the top. I've killed every herb I've ever bought, Donna said. The woman tilted her head slightly. Killed or neglected? Donna opened her mouth and closed it again. The woman smiled, not unkindly, and looked back at the basil. There's a difference. Killed means you tried. Neglected means you forgot you were allowed to try. She moved along the table. Donna followed, without quite deciding to. They walked together for a while. The woman, whose name turned out to be Cecile, had a way of talking that covered a lot of ground without seeming to hurry. She had been a school cook for 31 years. She lived with her daughter now, she said, but spent her mornings out of the house because she believed that people who love each other still need separate air to breathe. Donna laughed at that, the first real laugh in weeks. Eventually they sat on a bench at the edge of the market with paper cups of coffee, and Donna, before she knew she was doing it, said something close to the truth. I've been giving my whole life to people who take it as a given, and now I'm 53 and I have $80, and I don't know who I am when nobody needs me. She felt the heat in her face after she said it. Cecile didn't rush to fill the space. She drank her coffee. A child went by on a bicycle with streamers on the handlebars. A vendor was setting up a sign in looping red letters. Then Cecile said, "What did you used to do that was just yours?" Donna looked at her hands. "I used to sew." "Okay, a pause. What's stopping you?" "I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have..." "No." Cecile said it gently, but with a firmness underneath, like a good seam. "What is actually stopping you?" Donna was quiet. "You're waiting for permission," Cecile said. "From somebody, doesn't matter who, but you're waiting." She finished her coffee. She folded the paper cup neatly and held it in her hand. "Stop waiting," she said. "Nobody's coming to give it to you." They parted ways at the edge of the market. Donna walked home with the small basil plant she'd bought, which cost $2.50, and the coffee still warm in her chest, and something else there too, something she couldn't quite name yet. She didn't know it yet, but she had just started the 60 days. That afternoon, Donna went into the room with the boxes. Not to organize it, not to clean it out. She went to the sewing machine, which was under a sheet she'd put over it 2 years ago, the way you cover something you're not ready to deal with. She pulled the sheet off. She plugged the machine in. She half expected it not to work. It hummed. She didn't sew anything that day. She just sat in front of it for a while, but she left the sheet off. The first lesson arrived when she called Brianna the following week. Not to apologize, not to offer money, just to call. Brianna answered with a guardedness that Donna felt, that particular careful voice of someone waiting to find out what kind of conversation this is going to be. Donna said, "I just wanted to hear your voice. I'm not calling about anything." The silence on the other end was so long that Donna almost filled it, almost. Then Brianna said slowly, "Okay, how are you, Mom?" What Donna understood, holding the phone and listening to her daughter's voice shift from careful to something softer, was that she had trained the people in her life to receive money and logistics from her, because that was mostly what she had been offering. She had not been offering herself, and you cannot blame people for not knowing how to receive something you have never given them. The second lesson happened at the store. Greg had scheduled her for 3 back-to-back closing shifts, which meant getting home after midnight 3 nights in a row. The old Donna would have said nothing. She had a rule she'd kept for 11 years. Don't make problems. Be easy. But she went to Greg's office and said, quietly, "I need at least one of those switched. I have a family obligation." She did not explain further. She did not apologize. Greg looked at her with the expression of a man recalibrating something. "I'll see what I can do," he said. He changed one of the shifts. It seemed small. It was not small. She had existed in that store as an object that accommodated for so long that even one moment of taking up space, like a person, felt seismic. The third lesson arrived wrapped in the hardest choice of the 60 days. Her mother called on a Saturday morning with something wrong in her voice. Ruth had gotten an estimate for a repair to the house, a section of the roof that had been worrying her. The estimate was $4,000. She said she didn't know what to do. Donna knew what the old script said. The old script said, "I'll figure it out. I'll find the money. Don't worry." But Donna had $80, and she had made a promise to herself in that parking lot, a promise she could not quite articulate, but could feel in her body every time she was about to break it. She said, "Mom, I don't have it. I'm sorry." Ruth was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "You've always been the one who handles things." And there it was, the whole architecture of Donna's life, stated plainly in one sentence. "I know," Donna said, "and I can't be that right now. We need to figure it out together. I can help you make the calls. I can help you look at options. But I can't pay for it. I'm being honest with you." Ruth did not respond the way Donna had feared. She didn't cry. She didn't say Donna was being cruel. She said, "All right, let's figure it out." They spent an hour on the phone together going through what was actually possible. They called Ruth's homeowner's insurance. The repair was partially covered. The gap was manageable. It had never required Donna's money. It had required, for the first time, Donna's honesty. The fourth lesson came on day 41. Donna had been sewing in the evenings, nothing large. A small zippered pouch she'd cut from a piece of blue fabric she found in the bottom of her old project bin. It took her 3 tries because she'd forgotten how to set the tension properly and kept getting puckered seams. On the 3rd try, it came out clean. She held it in her hands under the lamp. It was crooked on one end. The zipper wasn't perfectly centered. It was, objectively, an imperfect thing. She thought it was beautiful. She carried it in her purse to work the next day, not to show anyone, just to carry something she had made. And when she pulled her phone out at break and the pouch came with it, her co-worker Tamara said, "Oh, did you make that?" "Yeah," Donna said. Tamara turned it over in her hands. "I love this. Would you make one for me? I'd pay you." Donna said she'd think about it. She thought about it for approximately 4 minutes and then said yes. It was not a business. It was $12 for materials and 3 hours of her time on a Saturday evening. But something shifted in the arithmetic of her sense of herself. She had a skill. She had made something real. Someone had wanted it. The 6th lesson was the quietest one and the one that took the longest. Somewhere around day 50, Donna realized that she had been confusing love with being indispensable. She had spent 30 years making herself the person no one could do without, believing that was the same as being the person everyone wanted. But indispensable and beloved are not the same word. One is a function. The other is a choice someone makes toward you. And functions can be replaced by machines, by circumstances, by other people who show up with the same willingness to disappear. She didn't want to be a function anymore. She wanted to be seen. By day 60, Donna's bank account was not dramatically different. Let's be honest about that. Money doesn't fix itself in 60 days on minimum wage. What was different was everything around the money. She had stopped the automatic $50 to Brianna, not cruelly. She had told Brianna, in a conversation that was uncomfortable and necessary and surprisingly okay in the end, "I love you, and I cannot keep doing this. I need to take care of myself. That's not a punishment, it's just the truth." Brianna had been quiet for a long time. Then she had said, "I didn't realize how much I was depending on you." "I know," Donna said. "That's partly on me." They talked for an hour that night. A real conversation, not a transaction. The first one, in longer than either of them could pinpoint. At work, Donna had asked Greg, again quietly and without apology, about the possibility of cross-training for the customer service desk, which paid more per hour and had steadier hours. Greg had looked at her differently this time, not like a problem, like a person. "I'll put your name in," he said. She got the cross-training. The room with the boxes was still a room with boxes, but it also had a clear space in the corner now, a folding table under the lamp where the sewing machine lived with the sheet off. She had made 6 more pouches and 2 tote bags. She had sold 3 of them to people at work. The money she made went into a jar on the kitchen counter. She called it, in her head, the Mountain Fund. Not because the Smoky Mountains were where she wanted to go, but because she wanted something high and wide and full of air. She had started sleeping again, not perfectly, but the 4 a.m. dread had moved to 5:30, and 5:30 was livable. Her sister Pam called less, or maybe the same amount, but Donna's relationship to the calls had changed. She would answer when she could. She would say no when the answer was no. She would say when Pam pushed, "I hear you, I can't do that one." Pam did not love this. Their relationship was in a complicated place. Donna was still in it, still showing up, still her sister's sister. But she was no longer the bottom of the well that everyone could drop their bucket into. One Saturday in May, 2 weeks after the 60 days ended, Donna went back to the farmer's market. She wasn't looking for Cecile. She wasn't expecting anything. But she saw her at the herb table again, and Cecile looked up and said simply, "You look different." "I started sewing," Donna said. Cecile looked at her for a moment with those steady, unhurried eyes. "What else?" Donna thought about it. "I started saying no." Cecile nodded once, slowly, like something confirmed. "Good," she said. Just that. Good. August. And Donna was working the customer service desk on a Tuesday afternoon when a woman came in to return a bag of rice that wasn't defective. She just didn't want it. And Donna could tell that the rice wasn't really the point. The woman was maybe 45, tired in the specific way that is not about sleep. Her name, from the receipt she handed over, was Carol. Carol filled out the return form and then stood at the counter a moment longer than necessary, looking at the form, not leaving. Donna said, "You okay?" Carol looked up. Something in her face moved. "You know what's funny?" Carol said, not like she thought it was funny. "I've been shopping at this store for 8 years, and I don't know a single person in this neighborhood. I moved here for my ex-husband's job, and then he left, and now I'm just here, just still here. Schouw uppert belovend hier. Not hebt hij per. Daar karsten stuur. You stop off at 666 And then he left, and now I'm just here, just still here." She laughed, a small, flat sound. Donna processed the return. She handed Carol her receipt. Then she said, "What did you used to do before all of that?" Carol blinked. "I used to paint," she said slowly. "Watercolors. I was actually pretty good." "What happened to it?" "Life." Donna nodded. She knew that sentence. "It doesn't go anywhere," Donna said. "The thing you used to do, it just waits." Carol looked at her, really looked, the way you look at someone when what they've just said has landed in a place that needed landing in. 60 days, Donna said. "That's all I gave it. 60 days of doing one thing, quietly, just for me, and something moved." There was a small line forming behind Carol. Donna could see it. Carol picked up her receipt. 60 days, she repeated. "You don't have to tell anybody," Donna said. "That's the whole point. You do it in silence, and you find out what you're actually made of." Carol nodded and walked away. Donna turned to the next customer. She would not know what Carol did with those words. She would not follow up. That was not the nature of what had just passed between them. It was the kind of conversation that only works if you let it go, the way you plant something in the ground and walk away and trust the soil. That evening, driving home, Donna thought of Cecile. She thought of that word, good. She thought of how much weight a small word can carry when the person saying it has earned the right to say it simply. She thought, I want to be that for someone, not the one who solves everything, just the one who says the right quiet thing at the right moment. She thought, maybe that's what it means to have something of your own worth giving. Before I let you go today, I want to ask you something directly. Have you ever been so busy taking care of everyone around you that you forgot to ask yourself what you actually need? Not what would be nice, not someday, right now, today. Have you ever felt like the most responsible person in the room is always you, and wondered if that's a gift or a trap you walked into so long ago you don't remember the door? Because if that sounds like your life, even a little, I want you to do something right now. Go to the comments and write DIA1, and then finish the sentence with one thing you are going to do today that is just for you. Not for your kids, not for your mother, not for your coworkers. Something that belongs to you, something quiet, something real. I am going to read every single comment, and I mean that. And if this story stayed with you, if something in Donna's 60 days of silence reminded you of something you've been putting off in yourself, please stay here with us. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell. Every week we bring you a new story about a woman who was just trying to hold on and found out she was stronger than she knew. Each like you give this video helps it reach one more woman who needs to hear that it is not too late to reclaim herself. Share it with a friend. Share it with your sister. Share it with the woman at work who always seems fine and never really is. You are not too far gone. You are not too tired. You are not too late. You are just getting started.